Well, I've been working with this drawing for some time, developing some ideas for making life so much easier when you are developing landscape plans such as this one. This is just a test plan. If I scroll out a little, and it's by no means finished, what we are doing is making sure that every symbol that I've got, not that one, but this one over here, is already pre-linked to an entry in the plant database file. So if I go to gCADPlus and edit the plant list, here's the accompanying plant database file, and every one of these symbols will ultimately be organized in terms of small trees and shrubs, ground covers, small shrubs, medium shrub. We'll organise this logically and neaten everything up and add more. This comes from an idea from one of our users, Kathy, who has been developing this idea along those lines. You may be able to see hers differs a little from mine in that the capital letters are used rather than a mix of upper and lower case, but here's the plant schedule that's been developed. So we're trying to get a simple way to do it, to illustrate. If I pick on any of these, you can see they're already linked to entries in that database file. But if I'm in a position to develop this further, I will just select that symbol from the column on the right, but I've dragged it across. So there are two parts to it. One is the symbol itself, pre-tagged, and the other is a label. And that label is drawn using the Smart Label tool. The Smart Label tool is found here, plant schedules down there, and it just gives you a prompt, asks you to indicate the symbol, and it'll say you want to pull the common name, botanical name, whatever information you want, it can label it. In this case, I've just chosen a simple label of the botanical name or the botanical name stroke cultivated variety. But how would we go about putting the tree gerrymander along here? So we'd copy one instance of it, like so. I'll come across over here and take off our object, snap, clear it all, because for something like this, we don't want any rigidity. Here's the symbol. Why don't we just scale it a little, and we can do that dynamically. Click here, drag out. So the symbol now a little larger, and we can now copy it all through here. Again, it's a large informal group. Now to label it, we've got 5 copies of it here. We just take one copy of this Smart Label tool. We don't want to label every one of them, but we want your clients to be able to recognize the plant symbol. So we'll just copy it from here, pop it there. Clearly this is the advantage of using a leader or label, because it becomes really easy just to move things around. I'll remove the ones that I copied across and we'll just roll out a little. So you can see that every one of these symbols is now given its botanical name. This symbol, this one here, is done with a style called design notes, and this one is a dimension style called standard type. The font helps you distinguish between what is a note of yours, custom artwork by the client will sit here, and what is an entry in what will become the plant schedule. Now, while I was doing all of this is starting to become quite a valuable drawing, and I want it protected. And what happened was I've set my PC up using Windows 7 backup tool, and I'm backed up everything in my jobs folder in 2023. And I set it to automatically back up at 3 in the afternoon. I just want to show you what happened. It took over my computer and back things up without me having to think about it. Well, that happened very easily. Let's look at the benefit. I can go to my 2023 and to a folder called Kathy A. I can pick this template file and I can come here, show more options, and I can say restore previous versions. And I hope what you see now is a list of all the versions of this drawing. They'll be dated according date and time. So I've got today's at the top. Yesterday I was working on the drawing, last week and so on. So if I wanted to restore yesterday's version of the file, I just click it and restore. So it's a very powerful tool without you having to worry about it. Your work's being backed up all the time. We of course have other suggestions for protecting your data, but I do like this one because it pops up in the middle of the afternoon when I'm working, reassures me that things are being backed up. It doesn't back, what it does is very clever. It saves the original file and then just saves the differences between the original file and the new changes. So you're not ballooning out and using massive capacity on your hard disk. You're just doing a very efficient, they're called save the delta changes. So I really like that tool.